Hello, I'm Richard Raffan. When I'm making bowls, I always turn them with a foot initially, and with many bowls, little small ones like this, I'll keep the foot because I quite like them. But on some bowls, you might not want the foot, think it looks better without. So in this video, you're going to see how to do that. It's actually an extract from a longer video, but in this you'll just see how I take a foot off a bowl, and it's a very quick and easy thing to do, and a lot of people are intimidated by it with no good reason really. And I've been contemplating this foot. Should it stay or should it go, this foot here? So I've decided that that's going to have to come off, and the bowl will look quite a bit better for that. It doesn't necessarily need to be on a smaller foot. I could make this little reverse curve, but that is going to be done essentially between centres. So when I say between centres, what I'm going to be using is this piece of non-slip cloth glued to some MDF, which then goes on a chuck. If you're wondering what the white is, that's the remnants of a bit of paper which stuck to the glue, and yeah. I don't often use glue, and I was trying to protect my workbench. Anyway, paper has ended up in there. It doesn't look very nice, but it works. So this is now going to go over here and kind of line it up by eye, and then so as not to have a spike, a hole in the bottom, I've got the little bit of MDF disc, which won't go forward because the rest's in the way. That's pretty good. So I can run this about 1400 quite happily, and I'm going to take the foot away with the left wing of the 1/2 inch bowl gouge, just a shear straight. Not quite as sharp as I would like, so I'm just going to hone the edge. I don't normally hone gouges unless I'm going to shear scrape with them. I don't really like, for shear cutting, I don't like the little secondary bevel I get when honing. And it still doesn't want to cut, so I'm just going to use something else. So this is the 3/8. I'd forgotten, this wood is not that nice to work. Right, so that's come off, and as you do this you get a little bit of kind of eccentricity, but that doesn't matter because it all sands in quite happily, one bit to another. So 180 grits. Sure that's doing the job. Yep. And you're going to get a few little kind of scratches up into the polished surface. I'm going to finish that off with a rotary sander, so I've got 240 grits. Might as well do the whole lot while I'm at it. I'll just put wax on this, I think that should do it. Build up a sticky layer. And then I've got the waxy sock. There's a lot of wax in this. But it's a question of holding the sock firm enough. That the wax can melt in, and then once you've got the heat, then you can kind of float it up the side of the bowl. So this is a very useful technique to have, because putting something between centers means that when you're making the bowl initially, instead of gripping inside a recess, expanding the jaws, you can have a much better grip holding on a larger diameter, and then if you don't want the foot, you just take it away this way. It's really quite easy. And before the modern chucks came along, this was the way we always did it. So we'll see how that looks. Well, I think that's an improvement.